Good afternoon and welcome to some Train Sim Mod 6. It's been a little while, surprisingly, since there was some last TSW action on the channel, but it is back for today and planned for tomorrow as well. As the DLC states, we'll be going through the remaining journey mode for the Great British Railways DLC, which took place on both the Riviera line and the East Coast Main Line. Thankfully, I've finished all the services on the East Coast Main Line. There was 9, and now we've got a few more to do over here on the Riviera line. We've done 5 out of 12. We've got 7 to go, but we've got one lengthy one here and 2 more here. So it's roughly 3 hours. So basically, by the end of today, we should have finished 1 Alpha 86, 1 Alpha 98, and 1 Charlie 94 as well. And then tomorrow, we'll do the little ones, seemingly just depot moves, if I'm not mistaken. And then we can go to whatever the previous release DLC was. So yes, hopefully all goes to plan. And without further ado, let's get to it. I am using the real weather mod as well. I have the annotations off, but I think I'm going to turn them on. I haven't... No, I'm going to leave them off for now because I do want to check back on if any have been like updated, because there are people that like will manually add like extra details to the overlays, which I really do like. Sometimes it seems like there's a little too much detail, but yeah, it does like make it a better overall experience. Right, so we'll turn everything on. I'm surprised there's not a mod that automatically does all of this by now. You'd have thought that one would have popped up in the 8 years that this game has been a thing. Right, we've got 10 cars. It's a Paddington service. We are going as far as Exeter St. David's. And I think how nice would it be to have like all of these screens do something, man. Even if they were just static. If they were just static, I'd be happy. To be completely honest with you. I don't think everyone would be happy. I know I would be okay with it. Where's the livery? Where's the livery? Is that just this service where you drive a GWR train and then maybe you see a GBR service? Let me check the East Coast Mainline ones, because I know on all of the East Coast Mainline ones, you drive a GBR liveried train. So if then the livery doesn't appear on the East Coast Mainland, then it's probably a mod that I've installed that's somehow messed with the DLC. Could just be that particular service. We'll take a look. It's quite warm in here already. let's see what livery we get here then. Okay, here it is a GBR livery. Okay. So could it just be that particular service then? Or is it just the Riviera line as a whole? Then it also opens the prospects of it being a mod specifically for the Riviera line DLC. Because I don't vividly recall the previous scenarios and whether the previous scenarios, the previous runs, and whether they had the livery. I'm pretty sure they did though. Let's see this one. This is one that I've already done. Honestly, I don't really care. If I'm being completely honest with you, I'm just only thing I'm concerned about is just finishing the journey mode. So it's not gonna bother me too much. But if something is like out of place, that also will bother me. So, but yeah, it won't bother me as much as finishing the service. And ticking it off the journey mode. All right, let's go. 1.586. I've started this service before. I got as far as Totnes, and I didn't notice. I didn't notice a GBR AI train. Whoops. All right. Get a sense of deja vu. Doing this again.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Right, 10 cars, Paddington bound. Oh yeah, the train's doing this little shake again. Yeah, it does this weird shake and then it sort of sorts itself out once we start moving. I'm not sure exactly what causes it, but it's very jarring. Something's unsteady somewhere. Got 220 posted up on the adjacent platform. That will be Edinburgh bound in about 12 minutes. There's something about the GWR font that I really do like. I don't know, I think it's classy. I don't tend to really like stuff like that. For some reason that one stands out. What he's not waiting for. Plymouth service in about 45 minutes. Gonna get the doors closed. Put her forwards. It's a nice station, this, you know. It's a nice little station. Right. It's a diesel engine, so should have no problem putting it straight up to notch 4 and smoothly moving off on our way to Totnes. textures on that bridge look funky. I never noticed that before. What's good, my boy? How you doing, Els? Good to see you, my man. Whereas everyone probably they'll probably join later on if they do join. How you doing, bro? Been good? Assuming that camera is used for safety purposes. I wonder if that's the same one they use for like cab ride videos, or if it will be another one put on top of it. You joined later then, that's crazy. Trying to be a sheep, not a lion. Up to you, my bro. If you want to be here for chat and stuff like that, you're more than welcome to join later, man. I ain't got no problem with that. I'm happy to be able to create a space for that, you know? Some, I was gonna say sometimes I watch cab ride videos. Sometimes I'll watch like 5 minutes or 10 minutes of a cab ride video. They don't really do it for me. I find them cool, but like that coolness very quickly wears off. Like I can't sit there for an hour and a half or an hour and 40 minutes watching like an entire journey. And it's weird because like I do find them cool. I find them very cool. And so satisfying as well, hearing like the raw sounds a lot of the time and seeing details that we don't really see in something like Train Sim World. But yeah, no man, not as much as like I don't know, I don't really think there's a measure. I'll just say not that much in it. Not that much. You're chatting? Nah, bro. Honestly, even if you're being like serious, I hear it, man. Did you see the video I posted on the Flight Sim channel in Discord? It was like an update on GSX. I think GSX 4, GSX 4.0. Ah, bro. Even without the details that was mentioned, just seeing like just GSX's level of detail in general, I just wish I could like instantly know how to fly and like have it in my brain and then fly with it, man. Too sick. Too sick. Don't not get bored playing Train Sim. You know what? Not really, you know. Like in recent weeks, I've actually been playing it more often than I ever have off stream. I'm not playing it daily, but it's actually like my go-to bit game. Basically, if I don't have time to have a good session on Le Mans Ultimate, I'll jump on Train Sim. I won't be playing for hours and hours on end. Usually I'll do like an hour service, maybe an hour and a half, maybe like another service. If it's half an hour, I could complete that one too. If it's like another hour service, maybe I'll do part of it and then save the game and come back to it later on. Whoa. But yeah, I do play, just not for like hours on end. I mean, it's not. I mean, you're saying it's not hard being somebody who's one, passionate about planes in the first place, and two, is fairly experienced at this point. Like for someone who's not super passionate, it is quite a chore to learn. Like I've got the interest is there, but when you start talking about ILS and this and that detail, it starts to feel like I'm at school, and I do want to learn that stuff because I do want to fly properly. That's like the catch-22 in my brain. I want to do it properly, but I'm not ready to do the education of doing it properly because I've flown like with like a lot of safety systems on and with the game basically holding my hand. And although there's a little bit of satisfaction just from the flying alone, I know that this isn't like the real thing and I want to fly. There's no point in me playing something like Flight Sim, like Microsoft's Flight Sim, if I'm not going to play it properly, man. If I'm not going to actually simulate flying, you know what I'm saying, and understand all the systems and use everything as it should be used. So that's my problem, man, is I want to do it properly. I want to do it properly, and I won't have fun if I don't do it properly. But then I'm not into it enough to sit down and learn everything that needs to be learned. And I've like subscribed to YouTube channels before that like teach you all the things that you need to know about flying in Microsoft Flight Sim, and I've set certain videos to like watch later. Like the intention's been there to dedicate that time, but I haven't gotten to it, man. I haven't gotten to it. I've never felt motivated enough to sit through those videos and learn. I was surprised to see you flying was it China Air? I know you to do like US flights, UK flights, probably some Middle East stuff. China Air surprised me. What was that flight? Where was that flight to and from? It's chewing up your hours in the day. I mean, bro, if it's not taking over like priorities, right? If you're not playing it instead of like doing the shopping, like grocery shopping or paying bills and whatever, like cleaning the house, stuff like that, bro, enjoy it, man. Like it's you're doing something you enjoy, man. That's a blessing, bro. That you can do that, you know. And like you, bro, you're a working man. Like, let's not act like you don't work and you just sit on your ass all day flying virtually. Like, you work, bro. There's got to be a balance in life, man. Even God took time to rest. Simulating flight, I'm gonna do right. Oh, swear, what? Like, is it? This might be a dumb question, bro, but like, if like, are you going China? Thailand, but stopping off in China. That's sick, man. Oh, you're gonna be a proper little nerd, like sitting on the plane and like you know everything that's going on in the cockpit, basically. That's cool, man. That was like me on a train to. I took a train to Gatwick around the time that London commuter route came out, the London to Brighton one. Around the time that came out, I was banging that out. And during that time, I actually took a train from Victoria to Gatwick. Oh my days! I sat there and I was like, to my sisters, yes, like in a few seconds the train's gonna take a left turn, it's gonna take a right turn, and I was nailing it. And it felt cool, but at the same time I was like, raw, I'm a nerd. Like, it's just a train, like it's just a train journey, it's just a train ride. Well, like it's not that deep. And I'm sitting there gassed, knowing like the exact path the train's gonna take. But yeah, it was cool, man. Anyway, it was cool. What when it would take the path of the London commuter route, the signal, yeah, speed limits. That was another one, speed limits. Oh man, but it's cool, man. There's something cool about it. You know what I'm saying? There's something cool about it, man. Crazy how times have changed, isn't it? Like back in the day, oh, you'd get bullied, man. Like bullied hard for being like a nerd, being into anything that wasn't like footy or like Call of Duty or FIFA. I don't know if times have changed though. Like, I don't know, man. I see a lot of younger people active on like train spotting, bus spotting. So I'm assuming it's like more accepted than it used to be. But I don't know. I don't know exactly how it is like in school. If you're to mention, yeah, like I'm into this to your friends, for example, or to like, I don't know, anyone in school, in like secondary school, let's say, for example, today. I don't know how it'd be received. Yeah, I don't know, man. But I do know that there are like youngers actually out there, like active, posting content of their train spotting and bus spotting. I think it speaks for itself that like so many young people are like bus drivers and like enjoying it, and they're making it like a cool trend almost. Whoa. Bro, the train just fell over. The train just fell over. Watch it back on YouTube. The train just fell over, bro. Okay, but I'm not gonna let that do me dirty though. So I'm going to force that to be completed because you're not wasting my time like that. The thing is, I've done this service before, this exact run, and I got to Totnes completely fine. So I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, it's not my time you're gonna waste. Peace. Alright, so in that case then, it's very possible we could end up finishing this journey mode today. I think we'll move on to something different tomorrow regardless, because it will just be a few minutes here, a few minutes there of services. I can do that off stream. And then tomorrow can be like streamlined in that one DLC as opposed to a mix. Bro, you can give me the tick and not a medal. I do not care. That is completed in my book. One thing I've noticed here is there's so much cloudy weather. To the point where I thought like my route annotations mod was like tweaking out, and I checked it and it was legit. Like it just so happened to be that there's just so many grey cloudy days in the UK. I think a lot of people outside the UK think like we overdo it. We really don't. Like genuinely, there is just... Bro, the train's falling down again. Bro, what's going on? You commonly tell people you train sim at work, yeah, because at work I get asked a lot like why don't I work during the week, or like why don't I take overtime? And yeah, I just told them, yeah, I got my own thing during the week. I'll stream. And then if they ask, like, what do I stream? Then I'll mention it. I said like, yeah, mainly train sim. What's going on here, man? Let me go back to like one of the older services that I've done and see whether this is something to do with somehow a mod I've installed. Although it would make sense to be that. I've done nothing for the train or the route. I've installed a mod for the 66 to give it some more realistic power, apparently. I've installed mods for a sound mod for one of the US freight locos. As a matter of fact, let me just have a little gander now. Date modified. So today, I installed some ballast mods for the Manchester route, so nothing to do with this one. On the 20th, all the 66 mods, which is all of these. Birmingham to Crewe, a mod for that. And there's the sound mod for the SD40. On the 12th, I installed Class 90 sound and cab texture mod. Rail singing. Riviera is there, but that's rail singing is audio, it's sound, it's nothing like physical. Okay, let me go back to something I've done already and see. What have I done previously? This one. Or these two I've done previously. And they were completely fine. So if they're wobbly today, then it means something's changed from then. If they're not, it just so happens to be those two services are buggy for some reason. Do work in transport. I mean, yeah, but it's not even that. Like I've just over the years, I think I've just built a shell, not a shell, but like some armor on like judge me if you want, basically. Yeah, something's very wrong here. Okay, let's try and figure out what this could be. Okay, well, the only Riviera related thing was the rail singing. Let's remove that and see. But yeah, I'm willing to tell anyone, man. I've told like family, like family and friends. Um, yeah, I'm happy. I'm just happy to tell anyone. I think I got to a point where I had to force myself to stop caring about what people thought and stop like being shy in a way. Um, okay, that's the only thing that was related to the route itself. So let's see. I don't think it was that though. It can't be that. It was that's an audio mod. Anyway, yeah, yeah. I didn't like. I didn't want to. I didn't have anything to hide or anything to be embarrassed about. Like I'm a big man. Like if I'm doing something, let me do it with my chest. I'm gonna go hide like a child in a corner and to get like secretly enjoy something or secretly do this. Like I am Adnan. This is who I am. This is what I enjoy doing. If you like me, like me. If you don't like me, don't like me. If you want to be cool with me, be cool with me. If not, it would not change my life in the slightest. I don't care. Your job reminds you of school. In what way? You know what? It might be that mod, you know. It might be that mod. Because I realized that stuff happening around the time I installed that mod. But we'll see. Gotta be someone on the spectrum to understand. I think everyone. Oh, L. I don't know what I just pressed. I wasn't even watching. That was a save game I had before, but I don't trust it. Are you back yet, Els? Why is it like by default on resume last played? That's quite silly. All right. You know what? Let's go back to this one and see if we can do it properly. If the train's not wobbly. Yeah, I was gonna say, I think low key, everyone's on a spectrum. Whether you're into some weird hobby or not, everyone seems to be on a spectrum of some sort, man. Yeah, it was that mod. How interesting. How interesting. I might just have to delete that completely then. It's a cool mod, but if it's making trains fall off the rails, well, it's not very cool anymore.
TPWS and AWS operational.
But yeah, let's say even if, bro, let's say you did a test, you went to like the doctors, and I don't know how that whole process works, but let's just say basically you were officially diagnosed with something. Now, what changes? Like now what? Okay, do you get like whether you are on the spectrum and you enjoy a particular thing, or you're not on the spectrum and enjoy a particular thing? Well, what does it matter? I think the main thing is that you're enjoying that particular thing. It's not harming anybody. It's not harming you yourself. Enjoy it, bro. I do reckon. I mean, just have a look at all the chemicals we're putting in our bodies, man. If you, bro, I've heard of people that had, was it autism or ADD or ADHD or one of them, something, and a change of diet, like got rid of it, basically. So just based on the chemicals that we put in our bodies alone through the food that we eat and the water that we drink, there's things that are not right. Maybe for yourself, an element of awareness. What do you mean for me specifically? What would I be aware of? Other than like I like what I like. And where do you now direct yourself if you're going to let's say just drop a thing completely. Let's say you just drop the whole flight sim thing completely, yeah? What do you now pick up? Because now you want to seem quote unquote normal. So what hobby do you now pick up? What hobbies are normal? What do normal people do with their time? Where you spend your time flying virtually, what do quote unquote normal people do? Or someone who's not on the spectrum? I think they either sit at home watching TV, or they're into a different hobby. And what really dictates a particular hobby and whether it's connected to a spectrum or not? Like, I know back in the day that was a stereotype, that anyone that was into like a particular hobby, planes or trains, was seen as a little bit autistic. I think we've gone away from that now, man. I think my controller's broken. It's doing a lot of creaking. See if we can get to Totnes in one piece without the train literally falling apart. That makes sense. It's understandable. Yeah, I think it's important to uh like turn your focus away from what other people think and just focus on yourself and what you're into, what you like, what makes you happy. Again, as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, as long as it's not hurting yourself, if what tickles your fancy and you know what you're passionate about is a particular thing, then so be it, man. Because it's not everyone you know now that you're gonna know in 5 years' time. It's not everyone you knew 10 years ago that you were concerned of their opinion that you know now. So imagine 10 years ago you killed a hobby of yours. You killed something that you used to do for fun, that used to bring you happiness or joy, because of what a particular group of people might think. Now 10 years on, you've long lost contact with them. They've forgotten about you and who you are. You've forgotten about them and who they are. And you still have that hole from where you once had that thing that you loved. Yeah, no, absolutely. I think when we're talking about autism, it does. We are going into like we are opening a new door and stepping into a new room of conversation, I think. Because of like naturally, the whole thing with autism is that you do struggle around people. You struggle to read people's emotions. You struggle to read things like sarcasm. So that just comes with autism naturally. And I think it's important to remember you don't need to be everybody's friend. Treat everyone with love. Show everyone love. Love everyone. But that doesn't mean you need to be everyone's friend. It doesn't mean that you need to impress everyone, you know, around you. And it can be tough. It's easy for me to say I don't chat to no one outside of work and church. So I don't go in. I'm not in an office job 5 days a week, you know, with the same people that now seem like not even friends but family to me at this point. And you get, like, I'm speaking from a somewhat different point of view, but I think the fact still stands. Why lose who you are for someone who you might not know in 5 years' time or 10 years' time? I think what helps me specifically is when I mention trains or playing train sims, especially when I have to explain it. The worst for me is when I tell someone like, oh yeah, I stream like train games and train simulations, and then they're like, what's that? My heart just drops, man. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to explain this, man. It was bad enough just saying what it was, but when I explain it, what I tend to do is just sort of, I guess it's a form of anxiety, maybe, of like not being rejected but being viewed a certain way about it. But I will say, before you get the opportunity to say it, I will say I'm a nerd. I always prefix what I do by saying, yeah, bro, I'm a nerd. Like, I'll say it first. You get it? Clear the air, get that out of the way. Make a joke out of it, and then I'm comfortable after that. The person's comfortable after that. I don't know if I don't know. I would assume so. So I found that's something I tend to do as well, to kind of ease that conversation. What do you mean? As in, when they ask like why you like it? I wish I remembered exactly like how far away from Tottenham we were when we fell over. All I know is it was a left curve, we had a 16 in it, and there was a tunnel in the distance. Everything is nerdy until you make it. Yeah, absolutely. I've gotten multiple times after I've told people, like when people have asked to see my channel and I've showed them and they've seen like the views and subs that I have on YouTube, mostly like the views on like some of my videos. They're like, "Oh wow!" It's like a surprise, a shock that you can get anywhere being into that. And I guess at the same time, like, I think it's also for us to understand as well that someone who's not into what we're into is just not going to understand it. It's simply not going to understand it. And because they don't understand it, because they've never thought about it, they've never heard of it, they've always been secluded from it, just coincidentally in their lives. It's just so happened to be that they've been secluded away from it. There's going to be a natural, like, the other day I was having a conversation with Jackson on stream. I think it was last week. And he mentioned a dish that they make with horse meat. And then he mentioned something about it being like people thinking it's weird or something like that. And I was like, you know what, I would think it's weird. But I think it's weird consuming horse meat because I've never done that. I don't regularly see horse meat being sold. I've never thought about eating horse. I've never like been around people who eat horse meat. So it's weird to me if you tell me that you eat horse. But there's a country where a traditional dish consists of horse meat, and that's completely normal to them. And if they converse with each other, it's normal, it's cash. They might look at you weird for not kind of being down with it, if that makes sense. So I think, yeah, it's for us to understand that we hold the keys to enlightening people, you know, about a particular thing. Because as human beings, we're all curious. Now, the first question someone could ask is, why are you into that? And although it might seem almost like an aggressive question at first and a demeaning one, it also is very genuine. Why are you into that? Why am I into trains? You get, and I can break it down. Why are you into planes? You can break it down for me. Why someone into football? They can break it down. So yeah, I think as long as there's no animosity and like ill intention, I think it's something everyone can benefit from. For me, when I was younger, we used to take trains. My mum and me used to take train a lot to go nursery. I used to go nursery in Grove or Bush or something, Latimer Road, somewhere like that. And we used to take train. We'd always take train there. It was like a particular nursery that I used to go to before I switched. And I just remember two things: the sounds and the smell. And I just fell in love with both of them. And then I fell in love with obviously the trains that produced, you know, both of those things. And I always just, from then, I just had like a fascination with them. Not necessarily a fascination, but I just liked being around trains. I liked hearing that sound. I liked smelling that smell that doesn't exist anymore, unfortunately. And then it was just that at a very simple level. Just, I liked seeing the trains when I would see them and riding them. But then as I got older, I started expanding that horizon. When I started playing games like this, it then opened my mind to more than just London Underground, red and white trains. And then I realized that fascination went beyond just simple getting on the district line and sitting on it for 20 minutes. And now I'm willing to like go on like rail tours. And bro, I saw like a 37 and I just got really excited about it. I saw class 37, I saw a class 08. I got gassed about that. I actually take notice now when I go outside of London and I'm around the railway or around like a train station. I'll really take notice of the trains there and that what's running there and how it runs. So it started off as a seed when I was younger, and it's grown into a tree. Why are you into planes? What got you into planes? Here's where we fell over, I'm pretty sure. That's really nice, man. That's actually really, really nice. Here's like, this is why I get baffled about me not being into planes, bro. So yeah, holidays were like quite a luxury for us as well. I say what, it was once a year, but like it was a luxury. So once a year we'd fly. Love the experience of flying. Like it was so cool. The whole thing was just so cool. From being in we'd be at an airport just watching the planes, and I would love it. I'd love it, love it, love it. I used to like plane spot like from my window because the Heathrow landing pattern went right over my flat, so I'd see like planes going over me. I knew the exact time for the Concorde, and I'd always be there for the Concorde going over. I've said before about all the pictures and like cards that I had of like planes. I don't know. I don't understand how I never got into planes. I don't get it. And to this day, that I still find them cool. Like I've always found them cool, but it's almost like that coolness jar has like a lid, and I've never been able to get above that lid, if that makes sense. Like I've always enjoyed planes the same level, but never like properly falling in love with them. Hello Jackson, I'm doing good, thank you, my man. How are you doing? Good to see you on the stream. Bro, I don't know, listen, maybe something could change in the future, innit? But if by now between you and Nabil and everyone else has tried to like convince me and like have taught me certain things, and like I've learned quite a lot about everything to do with planes and stuff, and if after all of that I'm still not properly into them, I don't think there's a chance, man. Who knows what the future holds? I won't rule it out for the future, but yeah, man, like I just you know when it goes into the details, like, oh, what's this, like an A320 or an A3 this or a 777 or a 75? I don't care. I genuinely don't care, and I don't get, and I'm annoyed that I don't care. I want to care, I really want to care, but I just don't. It's weird, man. It's really weird. Coming from the really, how interesting, Jackson. What a funny little coincidence, man. When flight's in, bro, keep asking, man. Maybe one day, man. For now, just keep asking. Just keep asking. Like I've tried, like I did the whole Cessna training stuff on Microsoft Flight Sim, and that was work, man. That was actually work. But I finished it and I got A in everything. I made sure to get A in all of the the lessons and stuff. So I learned to a decent standard at least. Yeah, man, it just wasn't enough. Yeah, but see, this is the thing, Jackson. If it's something that I'm just naturally not really into, how can I have joy from it? It's like farming sim. Like for so long, Nabil and I think some others in chat tried to get me onto farming sim. I'm not gonna enjoy it. Like I'm just not gonna enjoy it. I have no interest in farming, or even like modding the game and making it more than farming. I just don't care for it. I just don't care for it. I can play it and I simply won't have the joy. It's like a lot of you guys won't have the joy that I get from sim racing. You just won't. If it's just something you're not into, you're not into it. I was just starting the tutorials and all the stuff because I thought it would be good. I get thrown on the Cessnas there myself, but it's not about the Cessna though. I don't think it's about the Cessna. Maybe. I won't rule out the possibility of it maybe I just need to fly an airliner and then my whole concept will change, or I just need to fly a cargo plane and my whole concept will change. It's possible. It's possible. I don't think so though. I don't think so though. I mean, I did a half an hour flight in a Microsoft Flight Sim. I downloaded like a career mod. Like I really tried, and I took a flight. Very simple flight. It was in a Cessna, but it was a very, very simple flight. You fly to a particular landmark, like you're taking tourists to take a picture of some, you know, like a landmark, and you fly them there, and then you fly them back to the airport. Just in like half an hour of not really doing much. I know it's a Cessna. It's not an airliner with autopilot. Like I'm still in control, in full control of the plane, but I didn't need to do much. Like I had everything under control. 15-20 minutes in, I started to get bored, man. I started to get bored. Like it was my first acknowledgement of, oh, yeah, maybe this isn't for me, you know? Maybe this just isn't for me. And that's okay.
This is Topness.
It's actually not necessary at all. And if you fly airliners, you forget everything from the Cessna training. Identified zero useful information from the Cessna. Really? What? Even the ILS stuff? Besides from where it shows your speed and how PFD works. Sorry. Not the Cessna that I was flying. There is a Cessna that does have autopilot, but not the one that I was flying. Like the very simple one, the very, very basic one. Unless I just didn't figure it out, but I think I've had other people also say the same. I don't doubt that, Jackson. I can even get joy from like seeing you know, like the GSX mod, just watching all of those things happen. You know, I can get joy from. But beyond that, though, beyond that, and like I was telling Els earlier, I would like to do it properly. So I would like to learn how to communicate with air traffic control and understand how taxiways work and runways and, you know, all the instructions and stuff. So I wouldn't just want to play it at a very basic level. I'd want the full experience if I was to get into it. It's not impossible that there can be a month where I buy myself like a cheap yoke or joystick and some, you know, just some cheap peripherals, and have like a month of streaming Microsoft Flight Sim with you guys guiding me, you know, and leading me through, you know, the processes. I see that being a possibility, something that can definitely take place at some point in the future. So I won't rule it out completely, and I never have ruled it out completely. But I'm very hard on not making certain promises, you know.
London Paddington. The next station is Newton Abbot.
Welcome on board, Fort. Thank you very much for the follow. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I got emergency brakes, but I can't see anything on the there. It's not this, is it? Did this interfere? This is just meant to be like a HUD thing. Oh, you can actually acknowledge everything. That's very cool. I didn't know you could do that. How does one move? Is this game worth it? That is a very subjective question. It depends on what you're looking for it and what your standards are. So what are you looking from a train game or a train sim? Oops. Oh my god, I didn't mean to do that. No. I'm a diesel. Oh, I've messed this up. Reset train physics.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Took me lots of training sessions with a guy that's way more experienced than me to learn all those experiences. What, via like YouTube? Get the one-on-one training to get everything, videos and tutorials. Oh wow, we had one-on-one. One-on-one I think would always be better than videos, to be honest, because you make it personal, don't you? And the training is more catered to you specifically. Else, I'm pretty sure I can get like a Thrustmaster thing for around that price from like CEX. I was very close to. I think it was £55 for a Thrustmaster like flight set. It had a joystick and the thing that you push. I'll consider that offer though. Hold that one there. I might have to come back to that one. Started an ocean goal for MSFS. But I gotta be into it first, man. That's what I keep saying. There's no point starting a donation goal that no one's gonna chip into, by the way, for something that I might not enjoy after a while, you know? That would be a shame. I start train school in September. So I was wondering if it's study level. It's not study level. Well, there are two trains that you could call study level. They're both German trains. I don't know where you're based, Fort. If you're based in Germany, that's very good for you. If not, it's not going to help you much. The rest of the trains are definitely not study level, but there's enough in the game to get you into certain habits, understanding safety systems. Oh, you are German. Well, what Jackson said, Zusi is something to consider. But I'm not advising that. I'm just saying it's something to consider. And so in the game, you've got the class. You've got the BR101 and the BR145. So those are both expert level trains, they're called in the game. And those operate more or less as per reality. Now, are you going to find flaws? It's likely. But I think what would be good is if you go on YouTube and just type in TSW6 Expert 145 or Expert 101 and just watch some videos of those locos and see if it's something that will that maybe you could benefit from in the game. Outside of those locos specifically, and more in general in the game, there is enough to get into certain habits. So you've got PZB. PZB operates as it should. Z4 operates as it should. LZB operates as it should. So you've got these safety systems that you can train yourself with and get into the habit with them. Get into the habit of doing Z for every 30 seconds. Understanding when to acknowledge PZB and the restrictions that come with it. There is enough in the game that you can, it can be helpful. I think it can be helpful for you. You operate the 423. Oh, but the 423 is in the game. The 423, 422, and 425 are in the game. They're not expert level, they're not study level, but they are in the game if you want to, just get accustomed to the feel and sitting in the cabin. All right, Jackson. There's not a study level 423, no, not in Train Sim World. Not in Train Sim World. You may want to consider Zusi, but I can't tell you if there's a 423 in Zusi and how realistic it is. I think Zusi, it offers you realistic operations and issues like signal failures or component failures, I think. I've heard the physics are subpar, graphics are bad, but that's not the point of it. So again, even something like Zusi, ZUSI, like Jackson typed, that's something you may also want to look at some videos on YouTube, and maybe that can help you decide sort of what game would be best for you. But with Train Sim World, it's more casual than simulation. But like I said, PZB is simulated, LZB is simulated, C4 is simulated. You have the signals, German signaling systems. The routes are one-to-one scale, so they're based on real life. The routes are real life routes. So yeah. No worries, man. No worries. You're welcome. Thank you. Thoughts? I'm a bit I have somebody else in the community who's also starting the same thing at the same time, and so I'm wondering if you guys are gonna be together studying together. That's very interesting. That yeah, I assume what you said was that you're starting in September, right? You're in Munich? Okay, maybe not then. Maybe not. Yeah, DB as well. but not Munich. Not Munich. I don't think. I could be wrong. I don't think it's Munich. I don't think it's Munich. I'll have to check when he shows up. Wow. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Oh, that sounded good. Nah, see, you're not locked in, Els. You're not locked in. That was a police siren. Or was that fire engine? I'm pretty sure that sounded like a police siren. Usually, I'm 100% right when it comes to sirens. I can tell if it's an ambulance, fire engine, or police. That sounded like a police one. Are you sure? I got to hear it again because you're putting doubt in my mind now. Because it sounded kind of thick. I don't know how that makes sense, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. It sounded thicker than a police one, low key. But initially, I thought, yeah, that's a police driving past. You have Train Sim Mod 5 thoughts? If you have Train Sim Mod 5, then you can get your hands on the Expert 101 locomotive. I think you have access to Frankfurt S-Bahn as well. I think that has the 423 in it. No, I know what I mean. I know what I mean. There's a thickness to the police one, to the fire engine one, and then the ambulance one is completely different. Well, the normal person wouldn't notice, but in my I know it's completely different. Are there mods? There are mods. There are mods. Not mods for trains though, so you're not gonna get mods that will bring in study level trains into the game. The mods are more so for certain features. They fix bugs a lot of the time. They correct things. There are like timetable mods, so it's a little bit different than to the mods you'd find on Microsoft Flight Sim. As a matter of fact, if you go to the train, there's a website called Train Sim Community. If you just type it on Google, it will be the first thing to come up, and you go to the Train Sim World section, you'll get an idea of the mods that are available for the game. CP, hello. I'm doing well, thank you, my man. How are you doing? That's good to hear, man. That is good to hear. Getting closer and closer to Portugal, eh? To Portugal appearing in the game.
This is Newton Abbot.
Great Western Railway service to London Paddington, calling at Exeter St David's, Tiverton Parkway.
Have I heard of a mod called Railbridge?
Carey, Westbury,
Yes, I have.
Newsy, Bedwin, Newbury, Reading, and London Paddington.
Els, that's not going to help him if he's going to be a train driver, bro. Bro's not looking for the best sim. He's looking for something to assist him in his path. But you know, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, innit? Who knows, man? Maybe there's someone out there who's a train driver and just needs to know that Flight Sim exists for him to change his entire life's career.
Railway service to London Paddington will be calling at Exeter St David's, Tiverton Parkway, Taunton, Castle Carey, Westbury, Pewsey, Bedwin, Newbury, Reading, and London Paddington.
I think Railbridge is an incredible mod, CP. Incredible. I don't know what issue ASR has with it, but I find it an incredible mod, in all honesty. It is so much more than what I thought it was at the beginning. Oh, really, Thought? Well, fair enough, Els. There you go, bro. There you go, man. I'll be quiet. I'll shut up. I'll be quiet. That's it, bro. Yeah, he's even further in it than you are. That is crazy, man. Now Vatsim is serious. Vatsim is serious. You can sense a wise man when he's. No, Vatsim. See, that's the thing. If I'm gonna get into person step aside. If I'm gonna get into flight sim, that's the level I want to be at. I want to be able to do Vatsim in my sleep. Do you get it? Like, communicate properly, understand the communication that's being, you know, communicated to me. I don't want to be a noob. I know you have to start somewhere. You have to start somewhere, and there's going to be growth and a process. I understand that. But if I'm not going to work towards that, there's no point. I don't want to settle. How do you get the speedometer on full screen? I tried on my tablet. I had the white strip of Chrome's overlay. Really? I don't know. So I'm using, I don't know if it will help CP, but I'm using Safari. This is an iPad, and I'm using Safari on it. So I don't know if it's the browser that you're using, because you said Chrome, isn't it? Yeah, so it could be a Chrome thing, because I have that same issue when I play the bus, because I use telemetry on the bus as well, and the Chrome itself just really interferes a lot. As a matter of fact, you've now given me the idea to try that with Safari instead. Well, you need to make sure, CP, that you install the God mode setting that's for you, for your GPU. Like for me, for example, I can only do high. I can try ultra and beast, but my performance will suffer a lot. So I'm just on high. I tried to spread my hobbies out. So I started to apply to train companies because I kind of like the idea of being a train driver. I don't have the German habitual for being a pilot. Wow, and you got it for. That's awesome. And I wanted to study something I liked, so searched something and I found trains and I pretty liked it. That's awesome, man. Oh god, CP, it keeps emergency braking me, and I don't know how to like avoid it. You know? How do I like clear it? I don't like it like interfering with my game. Like I'm not trying to actually like, you know, have ETCS. I just want it as like a HUD thing. I don't want it like interfering with my game. And when it stops me, I don't know how to like come out of it, you know? Let me see. I mean, you would think it's in the settings, isn't it? It should be. But it's not. Look, speed meter, route overview, weather sounds, general. Not always on top. What's tracing? Request tracing. Second screen. Yeah, there's nothing for it. How often do I stream Fort? Usually 5 days a week. Monday to Friday. Usually. If you join our Discord server, there's a channel for the schedule, and you can see the schedule. And then you can have you'll see all the previous schedules as well from last week, the week before. Thank you, Els. And you can have an idea of how often I stream and the games that I stream as well. Yeah, it doesn't seem like I can do anything about that, CP. I don't like it doing that. I don't want it to do that. I like using it as a HUD, you know? I don't want to use it as anything else. Oh, it actually physically presses the emergency brake button. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's why I couldn't move before. That's why I'm running so late behind schedule as well. My dad was a former 737 pilot and he compared MSFS to XB12. Really? Wow. Wow. I think, genuinely speaking, X-Plane is more realistic, right? I think MSFS looks better, dare I say, and maybe has more gameplay, but I think X-Plane in terms of simulation is more realistic. Yeah, Els has an issue with X-Plane. You will join, you're more than welcome, man. You're more than welcome. Now, Els, keep at it, bro. Keep at it, and I'll, you know, you're putting yourself in my good books. And if an bill shows up less and less, then, you know, it's possible. It's possible. The mapping thing looks cool. Absolutely, yeah, absolutely, man. Like, you can have a bunch of controllers and yeah, have them all do what you want them to do. Maybe in a future update we'll be able to turn it off. Hopefully. I'll check out the Tracing community page for it and see if there's anything there about it. What do you mean, let's not get you started? Bro. You tell me, why do you want to be a mod? It's generally something I don't understand. Why does someone want more responsibility? Like, why do you want to work as you like enjoy the stream? Like, let it be fun, you know? Or is it that it's gonna make you feel like, yeah, you know, yeah, I'm a mod. I feel like for a lot of people it's that. And it's not a genuine, like, the heart's not, it's not like the right heart posture. I didn't like to only be focused on one thing. You need to be open to find something new. Some mentality for some traits. You know what? I hear that, Thoughts. I hear that. I like that. I like that mentality. I don't think I can. No, I think I could do that. Like, if I wanted something different, then I could try farming sim, for example, and just look at farming in general. I mean, I really enjoyed watching Clarkson's farm. Or flying, for example. I could get more into flying. And, like, not force myself to like it, but try and push myself in that direction more. But I think for the most part, I'm quite comfortable liking what I like now, trains and cars. And I feel like I'm quite content with it. But it's a good way to live life, to be honest. It's a good way to live life. It means that you're never stagnant. There's always something new. It's nice. Oh, X-Plane versus MSFS. Right. Gotta try the high presets for the jet wash, but I get stable 120 on the top of the ultra preset. Another reset, deliberate star uppercut. It's worse. Well, what GPU are you running, CP? Because I know for ultra, you need a 3090. So for 3090 and above Ultra, I think for Beast, you need a 5080 as a minimum. Honestly thinking about getting X-Blings. I've got a high-end build here. My build is strong enough for MSFS. But Roblox looks better. Just play Roblox flight games then. I think you should be able to handle X-Plane. You're not going to play it on maximum settings, but I think you should be able to handle it well. You were so crashed into planes, forts? What do you mean? Like you were just so into planes? Theoretically better than a 39. Okay, so you should be able to do just fine with Ultra than CP. Either Ultra or Beast. But what's your CP? What's your CP? What's your CPU? Because TSW is also very demanding of CPU power as well. Roblox looks better than X-Plane. Ah, bro. I'm not even a flight sim enjoyer. And all right, man. Now I've got a 3080 Ti. 3080 Ti. I could have got a 3090 when I got my 3080, and it's a decision I do regret not making. But I'm also very happy with my with what I've got. So, hello ASR. Yes, GBR DLC Riviera. What's the issue with that? R5 7600X. I don't even know much about that CPU, to be honest. But that could be your bottleneck. If you turn on your... Like if you have something in the AMD software that shows you your GPU and CPU usage, or you can download MSI Afterburner and use that instead, then you can see if you're being bottlenecked somehow. You were hating on the rail bridge mod, ASR. It's very cool. It's a lot more than what I thought it was initially. What were you hating on it for? Maybe the fact that it's an AMD GPU makes it worse for TSW, since you get more optimized for NVIDIA hardware. That could play a part. It could play a part. I was so focused on aviation that I became sick of something I once liked. Ah, okay. So if you're so... So did you love aviation then? Was it something that you were passionate about? It's cool but very unrealistic. I mean, my man, it's a mod. You know, like it's not an ETCS built into the game that works on a one-to-one scale. It's somebody's project, basically. And I have found it a fantastic tool. A fantastic tool. I wish it didn't actually interfere with my game and emergency brake my trains. But aside from that, I've been really enjoying using it. I'm more happy now. That's good thought, man. That's good for you, honestly, man. Honestly, good for you, my man. Still better than the crap that Rivet made. Well, that's not really too much of a surprise, though, is it? For one last time, XP12 is better. That one's for you, Els. I do have some other people from the community for that would be ready to, I think, to have a debate about that. But for now, I think you can have your way. Nabil is definitely one. I don't know what JFK's stance would be. And Jackson really doesn't, I don't know. Jackson only has access to one of them. So I don't know what his angle would be either. Okay, Fort, thank you very much for the follow. Take care, my man. Oh, did you pass ASR? How did it go? You don't get your results. Oh, interesting. Over here, you do it and then you get your results straight away. Interesting. Well, good luck. Hopefully you did well. I failed my mine the first time, believe it or not. Been driving since 14. I failed my theory test. But it was some like BS reason, man. I remember. It was BS. That's the ABC question. Huh. That's very different how it is here. Very different. The theory exam here is made of 2 parts. One of them is answering questions. Some of them I think some of them have 4 options. Yeah, or maybe all of them have 4 options. I don't remember. But then you have 40 questions of those, and then the second part of the test is a video. So you watch a video, and then every time there's a hazard, you click, and then it checks if like you've clicked at the right times, if that makes sense. And the earlier you click, the better. But if it thinks that you're clicking too many times, it will fail that video. And so that's what happened with me. I saw a hazard very early, but I don't know when the thing registers my click for that hazard. So just to be safe, I was like clicking a few times, you know, just to make sure that it knows that I've seen the hazard. And it said that I did it too many times, basically. I was very frustrated about that. I was not happy about that at all.
We are now approaching Exeter St. David's.
Oh, practice exam, I banged it. Do we have like an app? I think every country has one, because I know there's one in Germany as well. But there's an app that basically has the same question. It has like a lot of questions, but they're the same questions that pop up in like the real tests. Well, a lot of them do anyway. The video one, I don't know if there's a software that emulates that. But yeah, the question part was light work, man. Also, for the one that has 40 questions, out of 40, you need to get 30. I think you can only get 7 wrong, from what I remember. You're not allowed to get more than 7 wrong, so you have to get 33 out of 40, if I remember correctly.
This is Exeter St. David's.
Hello.
This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
I mean, the practice exam, there's no like official practice exam. You don't go anywhere to do the practice exam. There's an app. There's an app that you can download on your phone, or that you can download on your computer, and you can do the practice like that. You have to pay for it. It's not expensive though, but it's very good software. Very, very, very good software. But yeah, there's no like official practice. You book your test, and you go on the day to do your test. In Portugal, the government is trying to introduce a tutoring program. Basically, the person with a valid license can teach another one. Oh, that's gonna be hell. That's gonna be a disaster. If all you need is a license, that's gonna be a disaster. So I would be able to teach someone. So anyone can teach anyone, basically, as long as they have a license. Let's do this one. It's the longer one. By practice, I mean driving or an examiner. Yeah, for the practical, you said theory, car theory. Theory and practical are 2 different exams. In the UK, we have theory, that's one thing, and then you have practical. Your practical exam is your driving exam. That one you can do hours. You don't have to. If you just want to do the exam without practice, you can do that. But normally people will book practice driving lessons. They're called driving lessons. Okay, I thought you were referring to the theory test having a practice. If we're talking about the driving test, there's no, you don't have to do practice. It's your choice. You can book lessons and do the lessons, or you can just do the test. There's no mandatory practice.
TPWS and AWS operational.
Some years ago, Portuguese fellas joked that Portugal is a terrorist paradise. This is one example. A lot of bad can come from this. A lot of bad can come from this. I low-key do find it cool that the rail bridge mod can interfere with your train. I didn't know that mods can do that, and I think that opens... Well, I guess the door has been opened, but I guess it means that we can get some really cool mods in the future. I don't know what mods would be cool that would interfere with the train, but it's cool to know that it's possible. You mean that thing where if you get a driving license at 16, you must drive until you're 18, and the adult who has had the driving license is 5 years. That's correct, yes. But that is if you have a provisional license. But that's not like a practice exam. That's just something that you can do. Practical exams are fine. when you meet your driving examiner, before you walk to the car, you'll stand a particular distance away from the car, and then he'll tell you to read the number plates on the car to test your vision. That's the very first thing. And then when you sit in, you do your driving, whatever, he'll tell you either go here, go there, or he'll just say, sometimes there was a time, I don't know if it still exists, but there was a time when they would just put a sat nav and tell you to follow the sat nav, and they would just stay quiet. They test you for they'll try like an emergency brake, and I don't remember the numbers, but there are two different types of faults that you can get: minor fault and major fault. A major fault, if you get one major fault, you automatically fail. As you can imagine, that's something serious. And then minor faults, there's a particular number that you're allowed to have before you fail. I don't remember what that number is, unfortunately. Oh, that was for CP. Just do like a medical exam. Like a proper medical, interesting. That would be better. I'm not gonna lie, that would be better. But all we do here is test your vision by telling you to read the number plate. How do you get rid of the flickering on HLE on distant objects? I don't know, CP. I haven't done anything specifically for that. I'm using the two like main mods for graphics, I would say, are Jet Wash's one, and then the Shadows mod, like a better Shadows mod by Spacey Cat, I think, which will hurt your performance, but it means the shadows are more realistic. Testo hearing, sight, and also reflexes, and eye coordination, cognition, and activation, two shapes angles. Oh, that sounds cool. I want to try that. No, the only time you'll do a proper medical is for when you apply for certain jobs. Like for me, for example, because my work is safety critical, I had to do like a full medical. And even to get my license to work on like train tracks, I had to do a full medical as well. Those are the only times I've ever done a full medical. But I think that should absolutely be it. Really? Again? Okay, so that wasn't to do with the mod now. That was just the game. Yeah, I think it would be so beneficial to driving standards here to do a full medical, because some drivers that I've witnessed are in leave. in need of a full medical. Desperately in need for a full medical because something has to be wrong. Something has to be wrong somewhere mentally. You think it's easy that all of a sudden it beeps at you and then you realize the crap each other actually moves differently. Yeah, but once you figure out like how to move everything, then as long as you don't have Parkinson's disease, you should be all right. And they should explain to you before you like get in how it works.
TPWS and AWS operational.
They literally just tell you grab the handles this way, give that line out of the red area. Well, maybe part of the test is seeing how quickly you can understand like what's happening, which I think would also be beneficial for driving. Like a motherboard BIOS. Well, you did say that the machine looks like it's from the 90s, so makes sense, I think.
Welcome aboard this Great Western Railway service to London Paddington. We'll be calling at Torquay, Newton Abbot, Teignmouth, Dawlish, Dawlish Warren, Exeter St David's, Tiverton Parkway, Taunton, Castle Carey, Westbury, Pewsey, Bedwin, Newbury, Reading, and London Paddington. The next station is
The
Torquay.
driver learned 16 very simple. Citroen Abbey. Had the license over 10 years and hasn't committed a serious or very serious offence. Still, man. It doesn't mean that the person hasn't committed a serious or very serious offence. It just means they haven't been caught committing a serious or very serious offence. There's a very big difference. It sounds like you performed well, ASR. It's just annoying you have to wait a day before you get your results. So you're just going to be there like anxious. Well, I hope you're not, but it does like open that possibility. Your father's. I mean, on the day it makes sense. Like, how how long can it take to get those results and put them together, you know? It does seem strange that you have to wait a little while.
We are now approaching Torquay. This is Torquay. This is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
Els, what are you talking about, bro? I'm doing the car test. Why do you ask me which side must have a mirror for a motorcycle? Or which foot/hand I brake in a motorcycle? What's the effect of amphetamines? Yeah, no, the motorcycle questions are very weird. Unless you can drive a motorcycle with that license, like here, we can drive up to 125cc with a car license. So if the situation is the same in Spain, then it makes sense. Otherwise, it doesn't. And you never know who's using amphetamines while driving. If they're if you've been prescribed them, you know. Els, I don't know what you're referring to, bro. I don't know why you're crashing out.
Welcome aboard this Great Western Railway service to London Paddington. We'll be calling at Newton Abbot, Teignmouth, Dawlish, Dawlish Warren, Exeter St David's, Tiverton Parkway,
Driver's had motorcycle for
Taunton,
3 years.
Castle
Oh, after
Ferry,
3 years.
Westbury, Pewsey, Bedwin, Newbury,
What's the truck stuff?
Reading, and London Paddington. The next station is Newton Abbot.
The motorcycle things make sense. I don't know about a truck though. Yeah, see, a question like that would just... It's almost like they put it there to throw you off. Not quite sure what the purpose of that would be. Although, like, it's information that you could benefit from being a car driver, but it shouldn't be a requirement to know. In my opinion, anyway. But also for that aspect of the signals for trams and buses. Those are important to know. I think driving a car, that's something you should know. Hello, Karen. Is this real? This is virtual train driving. This is not real. But if it has... If it's good enough to make you think it could be real, I think it's doing a good job. Between dusk... Well, I guess between dusk and dawn is almost like a... Maybe like a legal definition of night, right? Like they don't want anyone to get confused, or they don't want anyone to have an excuse like, oh, I didn't know this is what you guys meant. I think they do the same here. It's the same in our tests as well, from what I can remember. Although I'm not gonna lie, I don't think I put 2 and 2 together. That between dusk and dawn equals night, or maybe I did. I don't know. It was years ago, man. It's like 2018 that I got my license. What train am I driving? The Class 802. They don't call car. What do they call it? Motor vehicle. That would actually make sense. The Class 802, Karen. Everyone says coche, they just do turismo. I've never even, like, heard that word. Motor vehicle is a whole different thing. which doesn't include cycle modes. Cycle motors. What's that? Electric bikes? Hello, JFK. Would you mind switching trains so I can sit in an air-conditioned train and you get my train without air? Absolutely not. Sweat your bollocks off. You're getting paid to have a sauna experience. Enjoy it. Sweat all the toxins, all the bacteria, all the rubbish in your body. Let it all come out. Eight in the evening, I saw 30 plus at the train. Sauna, bro. People go and pay for those experiences. What are these like flashes of light? You are so lucky, JFK. You are so lucky, man. You're basically like a VIP. It's a motorcycle, but less than 50cc, and also they're limited to low speed. They can actually be 4. Oh, okay. Are they? Is that something that's common in Spain? I mean, considering how much you rely on ETCS, the screen not working with the wouldn't be ideal. Definitely a suboptimal situation.
Newton Abbot.
He'll live, Karen. He'll live. Special categories, they have different regulations, and you can drive at 16 and such. Also need different license to drive them. Okay. I think we have stuff like that here as well, but like stuff like that isn't common enough for it to be something that everybody knows.
This is Newton Abbot.
Railway service to London Paddington. Calling at Tinmouth.
The other train procession system also needs a screen. Which one is that, JFK? Is that one that I would know? What other trains do you have on this game? I don't have this game yet. If you're asking me to like list every train in this game, Karen, it's a very long list. There are over 100 trains at this point. From, if I remember correctly. So I would say type in Google TSW wiki, WIKI, and then there will be a wiki page for TSW that has all the information about it, all the DLCs, all the routes, all the trains, stuff that hasn't released yet that's going to come down the line, and then you'll have all that information at your disposal. I hate it when I have to answer. Where should a wheelchair user be in an interurban road? What the hell is an interurban road? TBO1 Plus? Yeah, never heard of it. The train I need to drive is from 1986. I don't know why that reminds me of that train from Trans-Siberian Railway Sim when you said that. Alright, Karen, no worries. Hello, Monkey. Which trains are in Train Sim Mod 3 for free? Which trains are in Train Sim Mod 3 for free? I'm not quite sure, mate. Train Sim Mod 3 was quite some years ago. And I don't think there were any free trains for Train Sim Mod 3. Interurban road, basically anywhere that's not in a town. Okay, okay, so like country roads and stuff like that. Okay. Okay, okay. Paved, unpaved, highway, tollway. Starting next year if ETCS doesn't work. The train is cancelled. Well, isn't ETCS working in it now? I'm not going to do any dares, Karen, but you're more than welcome to ask me any questions and I will answer truthfully if I am comfortable answering the question. Train ETCS computer is bugged or broken. Well, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, but then, but isn't that something that can be like fixed? Apparently, at 14, you could drive a bicycle on the shoulder of a highway if there's no sign saying otherwise. That's wild. Would be a very thrilling experience for a 14-year-old. I tell you that much. But that is a very wild, like, allowance. Now if ETCS doesn't work, we can still drive at TBL1 Plus. Oh, so there won't be TBL1 Plus from next year? Have you ever crashed a train on this game before? Oh, never. No, never. Just don't check my clips on Twitch. Don't check my clips on Twitch. Never in my life. I have many times. Many times. More times than I can count. Although, I stand by them not being my fault. Most of the time. We won't teach it to new drivers anymore. Why? If it's still going to be on the trains, shouldn't the drivers know? Or is it going to be decommissioned? I'm the only person on the stream for some reason. Well, according to my analytics, Karen, there are 3 people on YouTube, 4 people on Twitch. It fluctuates a lot. People leave, people join. Europe has contracts where every country needs ETCS. Yeah, but what's that got to do with drivers not learning TBL1? TBL1 Plus?
We are now approaching Timber.
Also, with one less system to learn, more students will pass the test. Is that low-key like part of the reason as well? Is there like a lack of drivers in Belgium? No worries, Karen. No problem at all. TBO 1 Plus is difficult compared to ECCS. More difficult usually means safer. Or is this an outlier?
This is Timber.
Difficult, like you need to look outside for speed limits and if there is heavy fog in it or something. The train derails. As you make it sound like TBL1 causes the train to derail.
Welcome aboard this Great Western Railway service to London Paddington. We'll be calling at Dawlish, Dawlish Warren. Exeter
How much is
St
this train
David's,
sim mods?
Tiverton Parkway, Taunton,
As in how much it
Castle
costs,
Carey,
Karen?
Westbury, Pewsey, Bedwin, Newbury, Reading, and London Paddington.
It doesn't check if you're braking or going to a red. So what does it do then, JFK?
Is Dawlish.
It will give you an emergency brake while passing a red light. And that's it? Nothing else? Well, on Steam... How much do they cost on Steam? I saw it earlier. I think it's on sale. It's like £13 or £14 on Steam. It's £13.49 on Steam currently. I can't tell you how much it costs on other platforms. Hello, Nabil. How you doing, bro? If the speed limit changes for 50 or more kilometers per collision possible, what is that? Okay. I'm struggling to see where it's more difficult compared to ETCS. Is it just that you have to look at the speed limits yourself instead of the computer doing it for you? Is that where it's difficult? Go to the city for the test at 10:30 and they told me I had to wait until 1. Why? Were they just like busy with, was it just busy? In the night or fog you can't see the speed limits. Right, so it's okay, so it's not the safety system itself that's difficult. It doesn't have complexity to it. It's just dealing with it that can be difficult.
This is Dawlish.
Western Railway service to London Paddington.
Have I heard of
Calling
Trucker
at
Tim?
Dawlish
I have
Warren,
heard of Trucker Tim, yeah.
Exeter St David's, Tiverton
I think I've
Parkway,
watched a video or two of his
Castle
in the
Carey,
past.
Westbury, Pewsey, Bedwin, Newbury, Reading,
Do you need to know
and
exactly where they
London
are?
Paddington.
I went to break. Okay. So it's a pretty basic safety system in within itself. But it's just about things to do with it that are difficult. That makes sense. So isn't it quite odd then that it's like they haven't decommissioned it now that ETCS is there? Because it seems like it almost does the same like thing from what it sounds like. Because I know so many train at so many speed limits and they change regularly.
Welcome aboard this Great Western Railway service
Can't
to
remember ETCS.
London
Ah,
Paddington.
okay.
We'll be calling at Dawlish Warren, Exeter St David's.
But the train that you're driving has
Tiverton
both,
Parkway,
no?
Taunton,
Or is it
Castle
that
Carey,
ETCS
Westbury,
doesn't show
Pewsey,
cargo specific
Bedford,
train information?
Newbury, Reading, and London Paddington.
You wanna meet him in real life, Karen? I mean, I'm sure you can if there's like a truck show, for example, or like an event that's trucking related, and he's going. I'm pretty sure he'll announce it on his channel, right? That's what people usually do. And then maybe if there's one that's close to you, then you could take that opportunity. What did you do while waiting, ASR? Don't just keep us in suspense. Cargo trains doesn't have ETCS installed, passenger trains have both installed. It's dark. Thank you, Nabil. I walked for around 30 minutes and got on an overpass, started watching trains go past. During the case. And you didn't think to record any and post them in the Discord, ASR? Do you mean at the Lincoln Truck Festival? I don't know any truck festivals, Karen. I can't tell you.
We are now approaching Dawlish Warren.
Make it dark so you see the textures. Valid conspiracy. Most reasonable TSW conspiracy. That's very good advice from Nabil. That's very good advice. One to consider for the future. Nabil, I had a guy earlier who is also starting his train stuff in September, but he's doing it in Munich. So that would have been so crazy if he ended up being together. And he's going to drive the 423.
This is Dawlish.
Not much I can do if you're in the train and 10 seconds later it's already past you. Not good enough, bro. You need to be on it. It definitely is a skill issue. 100%. I once did an unstoppable train to some TSW for my train got yeeted out the back. I've got a couple train crash YouTube shorts. There was also a whole lot of derailing going on earlier in the stream. I'm going to use this time to go to the bathroom. So new drivers here don't even know the speed limits, they just look at the screen. Surely that's not great. I saw a train crash IRL, I think, London. A train crash? Where in London? Was I overtaken at any point? Yeah. Thank you for the fence picks, ASR. I'm sure they're going to be enjoyed. Why don't say Dovetail Games ambassador twice in the bio? It shouldn't. Oh, 10 years ago, Karen. Yeah, there's been something. There's been a history. Oh, it does say it in the bill. You're right. Thank you for pointing that out, boss man. What would I do without you, eh? There you go. It's been fixed. Get on the flipping train, bruv. What are you waiting for? I wish there was like a god mode command to like force all the passengers on the platform onto your train. Now that I know that this ETCS mod can actually mess with your train, I'm sure the possibilities are endless. In reality, how would you get from one platform to another? When the ETCS goes nuts and doesn't work, they start stressing because they don't know. They shouldn't be allowed to. Surely that should be part of like their training, memorizing where the speed limits are and what they are. Because you can't always rely on technology, man. That's a downhill path. Funny how PC Discord tells me image is too big and on the phone is fine.
The next station is Exeter St David's.
A train went through a wall at a station and 2,807 people were killed. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I forgot where that happened. But I believe I know which one you're talking about. It wasn't King's Cross, was it? I know there was a separate disaster that happened at King's Cross. Exeter or St. David's, the final stretch. You might actually have some time to do those short moves here and there. If it is King's Cross, then it just seems like that station was cursed back in the day. I have one more train route passengers in 1 hour drive back empty to depot. Do you like those empty drives to the depot, JFK? Stopping every 5 minutes. Well, it keeps you awake, doesn't it? Keeps you on your toes when you're having to stop constantly. A cursed train? Tell me about the cursed train, Karen. Can't reach max speed most of the time. As in like line speed that you can't reach, or like the max speed of the train? Still going 2 minutes. Really? Every 2 minutes? Come to London and be a driver here, bro. It'll be your dream will come true. I think it was fake because I saw my parents on me as a kid, so I don't get lost in the station and go in some random train. Well, I think it worked, didn't it, Karen? I've heard some interesting stories working on stations. They don't hire in Bushy, nah, bro. You need to be more like closer to main London. Although, you know, you can live there and still work in London. Also, a freight train that appears in the picture 06,000 but I don't know the standard gauge or Iberian gauge. Well, we could tell if the fence wasn't in the way, isn't it? All the new trains on the DLR here. I have no idea. I haven't seen any DLR trains in weeks. Well over a month, maybe 2 months. Can't see the bogies. Yeah, bro, because the fence is in the way. Can I from my vibe? It definitely is. It definitely is. But at the moment, my wallet's not vibing the same way, you know? Nah, bro, ASR, just look through the logo, bro. Why are you making it like a big deal? ChatGPT to remove the fence, and then ask Grok to put the train in a bikini. Do you think Dovetail Games will add the Class 755 and Class 745 from Greg? Look, that's my dream. I hope so, Karen. I hope so. It would be nice to get like some real brand new UK trains, you know, instead of subclasses of trains that we already have, or new liveries on trains that we already have. I'd like to see the C2C. I really want to see the C2C in the game. I want a C2C. I want the Metropolitan line. There's a lot more that can be done in the game, man. There's a lot more. Grok could do without asking questions. Oh, Grok, man. There was an experiment where all like the big um, LLMs had like a world and people, and they were basically left to their own devices to see how they would manage everything. And Grok's one, the people became arsonists and murderers and started committing crimes in his world
Exeter St. David's.
or in its world, and then the people would kill themselves afterwards. You just you wouldn't expect anything else from a world controlled by Grok. The letter C. The number 2. The letter C. ASR. He used to be called Coast to City, I think. Unless that was a nickname, I don't know. Or City to Coast. I think like its official name changed, but it's still called C to C.
This is Exeter St. David's.
Oh, Grok equals YN. Grok is the YN of LLMs though,
This
absolutely.
is a Great Western Railway service to London Paddington.
If you're gonna leave me here until I gotta lock the doors, we might as well continue on to Paddington, bruv. What are we doing? Right, let's get some of these little moves out of the way. You 4 minutes, let's go. Wait, your departure for the last passenger service, JFK, or your departure to start your way to the depot? I guess that's one thing you could do with it, Karen, yeah. I thought you would have got it to, you know, run it as intended, but I guess you can, you know, have some fun with it as well. Wait for 2 minutes. Why am I waiting for 2 minutes? This waiting seems
GWS and
purposeless,
AWS
so
operational.
I will skip it. Wait for 2 minutes. Or am I waiting for a train? Okay, let's say I've taken over this service from the previous driver. I would sit and wait for the signal, wouldn't I? I'll play it that way. What are you looking at, love? Dovetail Games drip. Dr. Foreman. Why is the GWR thing pink here? Whoa. Pink or red or whatever colour that is. It's just to suit the theme of the station. Lost passenger service. Good luck with it, man. Hour and a half there, 1 hour drive back. Hour and a half of stopping every 5 minutes. How many back and forths do you do in a shift? .423 mod still hasn't been updated. What mod is that, Nabil? What mod are you referring to? That stupid announcement mod hasn't been updated, I don't think. That's great. Good shift 2, bad shift like 4. And what, like, is there, like, what determines whether you do 2 or 4? Like, delays and stuff like that? What update would it need, Nabil? So I completely forgot anything about that mod. $130 stops a day. That's crazy, man. Different services onto the other lines. Okay. Pardon me. Fair enough. Does Southern and Gatwick Express still go to London? Yes. They both do. Well, Gatwick Express, I haven't seen it myself with my own eyes. But I would expect it still goes to London. Oh, yeah. I remember that, Nabil. Yeah. It's the way a lot of these mods go, unfortunately, man. Excuse me. You want to buzz Zelensky again in Brussels? Is he actually in Belgium? I thought he would have been in a van kidnapping people off the streets of Ukraine. Uh-oh. Too political. I'm gonna leave the stream now. It's too political for me. Back in again. What's all that beeping in the game? Well, most likely safety systems. Karen, different safety systems. So sorry, I've offended you, Nabil. I'll see you in Roblox.
You can't give us some financial support. Okay, please give us.
I don't know why I didn't see that comment.
And we will give you back money after the war.
How did I not see that comment? Oh, holy moly, I didn't even do this.
TPWS
and AWS operational. Shout out to Israel, man. You got AWS, Karen. You got TPWS. Those are like the main ones that will beep. You got no, sorry, not TPWS. Sorry, AWS and DSD, sometimes called DVD. Those are the two main beepers. TPWS will get you silently. Very immersive train washing. I feel like my train has been washed. I can't see what I'm coupling to. I could barely see that signal. I don't know what that signal was for me. Just can't see a thing, mate. Can't see a thing. I can hear beeping in my house. Is it that bad? It sounds like a fire alarm. I mean, it depends on what it is, isn't it? If it's a fire alarm, then it could be bad. I've never been to this part of the depot. What an ugly thing. You're stupid. You're stupid. Maybe you should check it out, Karen. Instead of typing about it. We don't want anything to happen to you. Right. Bang on 8 o'clock. That will be it for today. Tomorrow, is it Medway Valley? Is it Medway Valley Land that I still need to do? I don't know. I'm gonna see what journey modes prior to this one that's incomplete, and then we'll have a little go on there. It could be Medway Valley. There's also something else that's on my mind, but I completely forgot. It would be nice if you could filter by like recently released. None of this helps me. Anyway, I wish you lot a lovely rest of your day. Thank you very much for joining me today. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. Stay safe. Health is wealth. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.